When I talk to my daughters, I often feel guilty. I say, my generation blew it. We are leaving you with a climate crisis, a growth deficit, an inequality crisis, a debt problem. But at the same time, you have tools that we never even thought possible. So you're inheriting more liabilities and more assets. You're inheriting more problems, but also the ability to do a lot more. And I think that's really important. And my hope is that these tools are going to help improve and deliver what we really need is inclusive growth that respects our planet. We are living through a change in both domestic and global orientation. At the global side, we've gone from a world of closer integration to a world of fragmentation. On the domestic side, we've gone from a world of liberalization to a world of re-regulation. And that is happening in the West. And these tools will help navigate this very, very difficult moment in history. Tools are a result of both innovation and what's being forced by circumstances. On the innovation side, we're seeing incredible things happening in generative artificial intelligence, in life sciences, in sustainable energy. On things that are being forced from the outside is healthcare, cybersecurity. And what we're seeing are the spillovers of all this is creating a lot of energy and a lot of creativity. And because of that, people have tools. And they have what's called general purpose tools. So think of artificial intelligence. How often can a young person have in their hand now something that can help you solve a mathematical problem and something that can talk to you about Arab culture? That is what the power of AI is. It is general purpose, and it goes from one area to another in a labor augmenting way, making us more productive. If you focus only on economic issue, the Fed has a very difficult decisions coming up. Why? For two reasons. Inflation has been more sticky. It's not coming down as fast as it would like, what's called the challenge of the last mile. And the second challenge is that there's now evidence that the US economy is slowing. So the Fed, on the one hand, is tempted not to cut interest rates because inflation is high, but on the other hand is worried that if it doesn't cut interest rates, it will augment a slowdown that has be really problematic also for the rest of the world. So my suggestion is to look forward, not to be overly influenced by past data. And if you look forward, there is a case to start cutting interest rates and cut at least 2 times this year, starting in July. So that is what my hope. If you ask me what my prediction is, not what the Fed should do, but what the Fed will do, I tell you, I don't know. This has been a very difficult Fed to predict, and it's a Fed that has made many U-turns, including from last December. It's in the middle of another U-turn right now. Where the US economy ends up depends on your call on 3 things. 1 is what the Federal Reserve will do. 2 is the ability of lower income consumers to continue buying despite having run down their pandemic savings. And then 3, and most difficult, is the balance between exciting innovation that increases productivity and a very difficult global geopolitical environment. When I look at all that, my internal assessment is there's a 50% of a soft landing, meaning that the economy slows down a little bit, but not that much, and inflation cools. There's a 15% probability that we can actually unleash more growth, and there's a 35% probability of a recession. So the tension now between 2 countries that are interconnected has spillovers on so many different things. Now it's important that these tensions are not mainly economic. These tensions are about national security, they're geopolitical, and this is a reflection of the world we live in. The world I grew up in, economics was driving the car and national security was in the passenger seat. Now, national security is driving the car and economics is somewhere in the back. So this is really a question that is of national security, about geopolitics, but what the way companies are reacting, the way governments are reacting is to become more resilient. This notion of supply chains have to be more resilient, more diversified, and in the case of governments, more friendly with allies rather than potential foes.